In Lagos, Detty December doesn't just knock. It kicks the door down, drags in a speaker, and refuses to leave. By noon, the air already tastes like traffic, humidity, and ambition. But by evening, it tastes like hot, smoky jollof rice. Ella arrived at the food stall with hunger as her plus one. Her stomach had been singing backup vocals. All day, a desperate harmony of growls and hope. She was a food blogger with a cracked phone screen and a dream of eating her way into relevance before the year ran out. The food stall pulsated with life. Smoke from suya grills curled into the night sky. Generators hummed like angry, impatient bees. Someone's playlist jumped from old-school Afrobeats to a song that demanded you dance. Even if you were holding a full plate of food. Ella lifted her camera just as a chest collided with her elbow. The world tilted, jollof flew everywhere, an offering to the gods of chaos. Rice splashed onto a pair of white sneakers that clearly had a retirement plan, to kiss the ground. The chicken bounced once and rolled away like it was embarrassed. Chai, she said, a mix of horror and heartbreak. Ah! The man exclaimed, staring at his shoes like they had personally betrayed him. This jollof attacked me. She blinked. He was tall, smiling despite the tragedy, with the kind of calm that came from knowing December was his personal playground. His shirt was perfectly ironed. His watch caught the light like it wanted attention. Your leg ran into my arm, Ella said. Let's not rewrite history here. He laughed, a warm sound that floated above the noise. So you're saying this is fate with bad timing? Fate should buy another plate, she replied. They stared at the fallen rice like mourners at a funeral. That jollof was smoky, she added quietly. Pepper level was perfect, he agreed. And that was how they bonded over a shared loss. He bought 2 fresh plates without complaining about the price, which already made him suspiciously attractive. They stood near the grill, the heat licking their legs, arguing about whose jollof reigned supreme in Lagos. She swore by party jollof. He defended homemade rice with a dangerous conviction. I'm Ella, she said between bites. Segun, he replied. Professional December survivor. She laughed, rice almost betraying her again. He offered her a bottle of water. The flirting crept in softly, like basslines you feel before you hear them. Ella lifted her camera to capture the moment. Steam rising from the food, neon lights flickering. Segun, mid-argument, finger raised like he was testifying before the Jollof Supreme Court. Click. She didn't notice the man in a hoodie behind him. She didn't see the hand slipping into a vendor's cash box. She only noticed the sudden scream. Chaos spread fast. Plates clattered. Someone shouted Ali. Another voice yelled December, no be your mate. People ran in different directions, mostly the wrong ones. Ella froze, camera tight in her hands. Segun grabbed her wrist. Move, he said, his voice firm. They ducked behind a tent as security scrambled to figure out what was happening. When things finally settled, the mood was bruised. Vendors counted their losses. The police arrived late, as tradition demanded. Ella checked her bag. Her spare camera lens was gone. Her smile faded. Later that night, as she scrolled through the photos she'd taken, the hunger now replaced by a sneeze, one image stopped her cold. The jollof shot, perfect composition, and in the background, reflected faintly in a metal tray, was the hoodie man's face. He was looking straight at the camera, like he was staring right into her soul. By morning, Ella's phone had become a liability. Notifications were stacked up high, likes, shares, comments from people she'd never met calling her the queen of angles, the queen of jollof, the queen of Detty December. Her photo from the food stall had escaped her control and taken on a life of its own. She stared at the screen from her bed, eyes puffy, stomach empty. The hoodie man's face was cropped out by most reposts, but not all of them. In some versions, if you looked closely enough, he stared back like he knew he would be found. Her phone buzzed again. It was Segun. She hesitated before answering. He'd gotten her number easily the night before, the way some people collect contacts like souvenirs. Still, something about him felt intentional. You're trending, oh, he said, his voice calm, like this sort of thing happened to him all the time. I wanted brand deals, not criminals, and this ye wahala, Ella replied, sighing. He laughed. In Lagos, you rarely get one without the other. They met later that day at a that pretended to be quiet but failed loudly. Traffic horns argued outside. Inside, a generator coughed like an old man clearing his throat. Segun slid his phone across the table. On it was a zoomed-in version of her photo, sharpened and edited. You enhanced this? Ella asked, surprised. I have friends, he said. That answer landed heavier than it should have. They started to follow the trail the internet had left behind. A club promoter messaged Della, claiming the hoodie man worked security for a rooftop party in Ikoi. Another tip led them to a bend-down select store that only opened at night. Everywhere they went, hunger followed them like a third wheel. At the rooftop party, the lights blinked like they were winking at secrets. Music thumped into Ella's bones. Segun moved easily through the crowd, greeting people who greeted him back with a little too much respect. Do you come here often? She asked. Often enough, he said, not looking at her. That was when suspicion first slipped into her chest. They didn't find the man, but they found proof he had been there. A familiar hoodie was hanging behind the bar. It felt like a fresh escape. The night deepened. They ended up at a midnight bucka near the expressway, sitting on plastic chairs under a fluorescent light that exposed tired faces and good stew. Ella ate like she was angry at hunger itself. Segun just watched her with a small smile. You eat like someone who works hard, he said, and you move like someone who knows too much, she replied, meeting his gaze. Their eyes held for a second too long. As they stood up to leave, Ella's phone vibrated, an unknown number. She opened the message and felt the night tilt. It read, "Stop chasing or go hungry." She looked up at Segun. His face was completely unreadable in the dim light. Who really is this Segun guy? The story's not over. If you want to find out what happens next, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next episode. Thanks for watching.